Hello friends, a warm welcome from Greta Talks. In the last episode, Bharat proceeded to Ayodhya to rule the kingdom on behalf of his elder brother, living his life full of simplicity like Shriram. Friends, even Mandavi's sacrifice of the separation from her husband Bharat, like Urmila's separation from Lakshman, should not be ignored. Bharat lived a simple life in a hut in Nandigram and looked after the administration of the kingdom under the guidance of Sage Vasishtha and minister Sumant. Bharat's wife Mandavi had to stay in the palace for 14 years to help her sisters in taking care of her family members. So friends, over to the journey towards south pursued by Shriram. Shriram stayed on the Chitrakoot mountain for few days and then started his journey towards south. While travelling, he viewed the beautiful forests, small groups of hamlets, and the hermitages of the sages. He decided to take rest in the hermitage of Sage Atri. His wife Anusuya affectionately inquired about the well-being of Sita. She adorned Sita by offering her the sandalwood paste and fragrant flowers. Then they travelled further into the forest when they had to face a terrifying incident. A gigantic and ferocious demon was lying near the trunk of a huge banyan tree. His huge trident with the 3 heads of lion was placed near the tree. The sleeping demon was aroused due to their arrival at that place. The demon thundered fiercely and lifted Sita by his strong and extended hand. He said bullyingly to Ram and Lakshman, "Who are you to come here in my forest? Do you want to lose your lives?" Sita was horror-struck due to his cloud thundering speech. She started shouting, "Leave me!" Shriram stretched his bow, targeted that demon to rescue Sita. The demon said, "Hey, your arrows won't harm me. I am the demon named Virat, and Lord Brahma has blessed me with the immortality." Saying so, Virat's thundering laughter boomed throughout the forest, which terrified the birds, and they shrieked and flew away. Virat said, "Just wait, first I'll kill both of you." He released Sita and lifted Shriram and Lakshman in his hands. As he lifted them, Shriram and Lakshman took out their swords and severed the hands of Virat. Virat was immortal, so it was impossible to kill him with any weapon. Shriram told Lakshman to dig a huge pit, which he promptly did. Then both of them buried that massive Virat in that huge pit. Then they proceeded further. They reached the hermitage of Sage Sharabhanga. Shriram entered the ashram and he saw that Sage Sharabhanga was lying on his deathbed waiting for someone. Though his body was old and skinny, it had an aura earned due to penance. Their eyes met each other and the sage's wrinkled face gleamed with happiness. He said, "Welcome, Shriram. I had been waiting for you. I could not die as I was eager to meet you. Now that I have visited you, I am feeling contented as my penance is fulfilled. Now I can sacrifice my life with satisfaction." "Shriram, please wait for some time. My funeral pyre is ready outside. The messengers of Lord Vishnu are waiting for me, but I have kept them waiting for a long time. Now that you have visited to me, I will offer my body to the fire. Once my body will turn to ashes, then you can depart from here." Shriram waited there. The old sage, with the help of his yogic strength, offered his body to the fire. The funeral pyre blazed with the huge flames, and that pious body was turned to ashes. Shriram bowed his head and folded his hands to the pyre and then proceeded for further journey. A few miles ahead was the hermitage of Sage Sutikshna. Shriram decided to visit Sage Sutikshna. When Shriram was on the way, a group of sages was waiting for the arrival of Shriram. As they saw Shriram approaching, they gathered around him. They offered him flowers and fruits and pathetically said, "Shriram, please protect us." Shriram sat with them under a tree and asked, "What happened? What is the critical situation?" The sages replied, "The demons are creating menace. Our lives and wealth are at stake. The land from Chitrakoot to Pampa Lake is well known as a spiritual land since ancient times. This pious land is converted to the graveyard due to the brutality of the demons. The demons have not only destroyed the hermitages of numerous sages, but they also have devoured them. The places where the sages used to perform pious rituals are filled with the huge piles of the bones of the slain sages." Shriram was stunned and said, "Oh, what a calamity!" The sages said, "We appeal to you to put an end to the miserable circumstances of this land and liberate it from the fear of the demons." Shriram said, "Oh, do not appeal. It is my duty to restore peace in your lives." Shriram assured the sages and proceeded further to visit Sage Sutikshna. The sage happily welcomed Shriram and inquired about their well-being. The sage asked Shriram, "Now where will you go further?" Shriram replied, "O sage, I am traveling towards southern direction. I came to know that the sages in the neighboring areas are harassed by the demons. I would like to free them from the pestering of the demons." Sage replied, "Yes, definitely do that." Shriram took the blessings of Sage Sutikshna and visited the group of sages. As assured, Shriram and Lakshman searched the demons and killed them. The sudden attack bewildered the conceited demons and they ran helter-skelter due to fear. Thus Shriram and Lakshman emancipated the holy land from the tortures of the demons and restored peace. Shriram then took heartfelt blessings of the sages and headed their journey. The two sages, with the gratified feelings, escorted them to guide the path. A few miles forward, they came across a beautiful hermitage. It was embellished with the varieties of fruits and the creepers of flowers. There were many birds and animals like antelope, peacock, deer, cranes, which lived together. The clear blue sky was filled with the white fumes of the yajna fire, and the sages were chanting the hymns of Vedas. Lakshman asked surprisingly, "Whom does this hermitage belong to?" The sages who escorted them replied, "It is the hermitage of Sage Agasti." Shriram respectfully said, "Lakshman, let us visit Sage Agasti and then continue our journey." The sages hurriedly went into the hermitage and informed Sage Agasti about the arrival of Shriram. Hearing the news, Sage Agasti accompanied with his disciples to welcome Shriram, Lakshman and Sita. The trio bowed their heads and sought the blessings of Sage Agasti. Sage Agasti gladly welcomed them and went into the hermitage with them. Sage Agasti asked about their well-being and handed over the divine weapons to Shriram and said, "Shriram, take this divine bow, which was balanced by Lord Vishnu. Take this quiver of never-exhausting arrows, which was given to me by Lord Shiva. Shriram, accept this golden and valorous sword. You have freed the southern region from the fear of the demons, so I need not be the custodian of these divine weapons." Shriram replied, "I consider this as your benign blessings." Shriram accepted the divine weapons with absolute modesty. Then, as per the suggestions given by Sage Agasti, Shriram initiated his journey towards Panchavati, situated on the banks of Godavari river, in order to spend the next period of his exile. So friends, the takeaway of this story is how Shriram and Lakshman boldly surmounted the situation when they were attacked by the demon Virat, how Shriram fulfilled his commitment to the sages of liberating the holy land from the tortures inflicted by the demons, how Shriram relieved Sage Sharabhanga by gratifying his last moments of life, how sages like Sage Sutikshna and Sage Agasti helped Shriram in his noble cause of establishing peace in the Holy Land. Sage Agasti had complete faith in the bravery of Shriram and helped him by providing the divine weapons. This is all about this episode. Stay tuned for the next episode, in which we will know what happened when Shriram, Lakshman and Sita were staying in Panchavati region. Till then, thank you and goodbye.